Hey folks, Engineer 775, and we're excited to be here. Customer has been using his phase 1 system now for quite a while. Worked all the bugs out of it. He's been pretty happy. They've had quite a few outages to test the system, and that's all been working great. And some of the nice things too, the swimming pool has been running off of solar power, and that's been an awesome thing. So I'm going to show you what we're doing right now and what we're getting ready to do. We're putting in another solar here. We're going to fill up these barn roofs with solar, and we're going to do another 48 panels this week for this customer. We're going to do just a little bit different system. I'll be sharing that with you now. Okay, the first thing we're doing here, while it's nice and dry on the roof, we're getting into cooler mornings, so a lot of the dew, we don't have to deal with that. And we got so much to do that we can just wait till it burns off. And that's safer. So this is an older metal, like a 5V barn tin. So what we did the last time, we replaced all the screws under that array. And we're doing the same down here. So you can buy replacement screws. They're a 5/16 head, a little bit bigger diameter, and what it allows, it's just a guaranteed way so you don't have leaks. If there's any leaks up under the solar, oh, that's just a pain to have to replace panels. So that's what Antonio is doing now. He's replacing all the screws under this, on this part of the roof. Johnny and Abraham are laying out two rows of 14 to kind of balance this out. So this barn will be full of solar, and where I'm standing right now is going to be a greenhouse, and we're going to put an AC/DC 18C in it, and 8 of the panels that we're going to add are going to feed the mini split to heat and cool this greenhouse. The customer really wants to be able to grow food year round, and so we're going to try to help that with solar. And then we'll have 20 panels left over for 2 strings of 10 that are going to go to the Solar 12K off of this barn. So they're snapping their lines, centering up the array, make it match the other one. It's all snap and rack. And then our attachments are RT Minis. RT Mini Roof Techs. Roof Tech RT Minis, a really awesome attachment for metal roof. They're metal roof bases. I'll show you that in a little bit. And then eventually we'll work our way over to this barn. Let me back up here a little bit. And this is going to be a little bit different on this one. See the solar on the upper part as well. We're going to be, let me see if I can get to where you are. There's also 8 panels. There's kind of a cool balancing act here. There's 8 panels there. Those are running the Pico Blender 3-phase Pentair. Forgot the model number of the pump, but it's a 3-phase pool pump. Wait till I show you this pool. It's so cool. And so we're going to put 20 panels on this roof for, this will be the southwestern facing array for the solar arc. So we're going to have around 13 kW of DC coupled power. And then each roof will have these 8 panels arrays that feed all sorts of cool gizmos. So there's the old barn and the new barn. Well, this gimbal doesn't turn so fast. Okay, so this is day 1. We probably won't finish it this week. Tomorrow we're going to be doing, seeing as this place is getting nicely landscaped, we're going to do some directional boring. We got to bring three conduits from this area. One DC for the greenhouse, one AC for the greenhouse, and then one DC from the roof to bring that solar back here. So and then we got another AC feed for this. So we're gonna have, let's see, altogether 4 critical loads panels. There's a boat dock, I'm not showing you here, but there's a panel down there we're gonna have as a critical loads panel. It's gonna be a critical loads panel in this shop because there's an apartment in here. It's gonna be a critical loads panel in the greenhouse, and then we're gonna have a critical loads panel in the barn. So can you do multiple critical loads panels? Of course you can. And we'll show you how we do that with power distribution blocks and other means. So yeah, looking forward to that. We're gonna got everything nice so we can't tear it up with trenchers and stuff. We're gonna do some line boring, and we'll transition from his conduit to our conduit. All right, that's day one. Let's get her done. Beautiful weather. This is what we love. Last time we were up here, it was a muddy, rainy mess. All right, let's get to work. This is why we're putting, we could have tightened that up though, but we're putting, we're doing new, look at the size and the diameter of the new screw. Yeah. And the old screws just as 1/4 inch heads. But yeah, things loosen up, things back out. And we don't want that happening underneath our solar array. So Antonio's doing a great job. New screws. He didn't get, I guess we didn't get the right color. All right. Shush, don't say anything. We're doing black solid. Okay, we're up here with the gents, putting the RT Minis down. Let me show you an RT Mini. These are pretty cool. They ain't going nowhere. These have the little butyl strips on the bottom. And they're putting 5 screws. That's awesome, which saves one hole where you can bring the L foot in, and they have a 5/16 bolt with a flange nut. These things aren't going anywhere. This would rip the roof off before an RT Mini would come off. They have awesome fasteners, at least 6 attachment points, a butyl strip, and they're just beautiful. And we're using the snapping rack attachments for the rails. And they just look awesome. All right, so these are RT Roof Mini. So on a roof that's not corrugated like this is what I call 5V barn tin. And you just want to attach to a metal roof. These work great. This is not a standing seam. So this has been a good option. That's how we did this section for phase 1. We're back doing phase 2. All right. These have been the greatest little DC disconnects and transitions that we have ever used. They're pretty reasonable in cost depending on how many poles. These are 4-pole disconnects rated at 600 volts. These are 25 amp 4-pole. They make 32 amp, 16 amp, 2-pole, 4-pole, a lot of different variations. IMOs, you see these rotary disconnects in a lot of inverters like Solar Edge and SMA. Just putting one up now. So we're gonna bring down another 28 panels into this wiring trough from the last time. The other IMOs are feeding the solar system in that house, and now we're putting in another system. And so I needed to, thankfully there was enough room to stick a couple more IMOs in here, our PV array isolators, DC isolators. If you need some of these, let me know, we can get them to you. These are awesome, just work really good. So we'll land PV wire on the top, and then we'll transition to THHN, and we'll be in good shape to take. We got some conduits, thankfully. This was sawed out for us last time. We're gonna run some more conduits in here, and then we might saw out a little bit more. And so this allows us to transition and have a point of disconnect. IMO's the best. All right, one of the things we're putting on a critical loads panel is this boat dock, and the ability to lift this boat, which is about 13,000 pounds, out of the water and put it back in the water. So I'm gonna be checking some amp readings. We also have some, you can see it's plugged in just to keep everything on board, just maintained and ready to go for the next journey. So the panel is quite a ways away. There's also an irrigation pump under the dock here. So there's a submersible pump under me that is being used. But you can hear one over there. So they do the irrigation out of the lake. It's kind of nice. And so the pump actually is running. Here's the water line for it. And so that is going up to the house and behind the house for all the irrigation. So this is going to be a critical loads off of the Solark 12K for irrigation and working on the boat. So instead of we were going to come all the way down here and put a transfer switch. We decided not to do that. There's another panel that feeds this whole setup. So we're going to do an interlock kit. We found an interlock kit. We'll share that with you. It's a pretty inexpensive way to put a transfer switch, transfer capability, or make or break capability in a panel. I'll show you that in a bit. Okay, so this will be one of 4 critical loads panels. So when you read the manual or look at this stuff and you see 1 critical loads panel, we kind of hardly ever get in that situation. People want more power in more places on their property, and so it takes having to get creative and split off and run a variety of things. Now, we can't run everything at once. This just gives the customer the ability to manage the power and, you know, run, like that irrigation pump can be completely done off of the solar system. All right, we're just knocking this array out. Gonna fill up this roof here in about an hour, and this one will be done. All right, end of day 2. We're about the same point we were to yesterday, which is great. Got everything racked, and that's right. Tomorrow, get down. We got a class. We actually got to get certified in what we're doing, boss. There you go. Come on down, certifier. You're gonna get certified.
Spins on you. So there's something in the ground right there. Okay. So once it spins, then you step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somewhere around like the 3.5, 4 mark. Yeah. Deep. How deep it is? That? My daddy's a water witch.
It's not witching, it's dowsing.
Dowsing.
The American Dowsing Society. If you want to practice witchcraft, that's between you. Oh my goodness, what's happening?
Stop turning it, Johnny. I'm not.
You gotta come up with a song for this one. All right, because this place is all nicely landscaped now, we do not have the ability to bring out the trend. Well, we could tear this world up, but we got to get 4 conduits into that wiring trough over there. And one's going about 250 feet around the corner. One's going to go to this building. 2 are going to go here. 1 for the greenhouse AC feed from this direction, and then a DC feed from this direction. And there we go. But hopefully we don't hit anything. We got landmines aplenty in this ground. So I'm glad that we contracted somebody else to tear it up. We'll have to do the fixing now, probably. Oh, the fun parts of solar are removing large chunks of concrete and getting conduits into places where it's just troubling. So where that blower is, I'm gonna cut out another strip and pop up. I need to get 4 conduits in to that gutter, 4 2-inch conduits that are going in a variety of places. And I'll show you. We're gonna start on one end. We're gonna start the boat dock. We're gonna have 2 split here. There's gonna be a greenhouse where the tractor is. And we're gonna put an AC/DC 18C in there. And the solar will come off of that roof, 8 panels. And then the AC part will come off of this system, and then the solar, the southeast array, the 20 panels on that roof on the bottom will feed the solar through another 2-inch conduit. It's conduit day. Hopefully we don't hit anything. Lots of irrigation, lots of stuff in the ground. All right, we're getting one of our 2-inch conduits drilled here. We're going to be popping into this panel. This is a millbank panel. And we're gonna put an interconnect kit that will toggle between this 200 amp main and a 50 amp breaker that we will put here. So we'll be able to switch back and forth, move a plate. You'll see that interlock kit. So we're gonna run our conduit for what he's doing right up into here. I hope we can knock a 2-inch in there. I think we can. And then we'll connect to where he is. He'll leave me some extra conduit. We'll dig this over. We gotta be careful. We got a power line here that's feeding the barn we're working on, coming off of this transformer. So these guys are drilling away. All right. Where's it going? Blue Diamond 2-inch IPS. This is our 2-inch conduit being pulled back to somewhere way down there. Oh, they got a Yanmar. A Yanmar Mini. Cool. There he goes. Just unhooked the outriggers. You can see the red conduit coming through. Got the Chinese finger cuff. That's what I call it. I think that's what it is. And that'll give us enough conduit to sweep over. We'll dig down and get it into our panel there. Well, it's always hard to save a chunk. We'll just re-pour, patch this up later. Oh boy, chocolate pudding. So we're having fun today in the rain, but thankful for the directional line bore that we don't have open ditches today. You can see the red pipe that they pulled into this area. So they're pretty accurate in how they can get their conduits to where we need them. It's gonna be a fun pull regardless. I'm gonna put a disconnect for this building here that we're feeding with a solar arc. So, oh, we're having fun, aren't we? Woo! So yeah, how many more we gotta do? 5? Yay. Well, we got them in there. There's 4 conduits coming in here. We'll be bringing in solar. We got an AC feed to the boat dock, an AC feed to the greenhouse, and an AC feed to the greenhouse. Did I say that already? Greenhouse, old barn, boat dock, solar. We'll figure it out when we put the vacuum to it. And then those guys are finishing up. We're going to take those 8 panels on the lower part. They're going to run an AC/DC 18C. And then 2 strings of 10 are coming back over here for the solar arc. Solar arc is already getting fed 10 from the roof that's over me, 20 from the roof that's over me. And so we've got the system built. We just need to do some measuring and maybe pull a few strings and figure out what we need to come back and size these wire pulls to. So it's gonna be wire pull, button up, and testing, which is awesome. Let me check on Johnny Boy. This is going to be our last day here for phase one of phase 2. How you doing in here, boss?
I'm lonely.
He's lonely. I thought he was. So he's been moving circuits over and built a critical loads panel for the customer in here. So we have 4 critical loads panels coming off of the solar arc.
Run the world.
And we're gonna run the world, he says. We got our CTs in on the main panel. We got the circuits moved over. The customer wanted to move over there. We're running these mini splits, Mitsubishi mini splits. You can see them on the wall there and there. Are they still cranked down to 65 just for running? Just to getting? They're probably just to getting it.
Pulling 2.32 kW.
Yeah, so we're just trying to combat global warming with solar. That was a joke, folks. Bad joke, nonetheless. Oh yeah, they're cranking. We need to turn them off. So this is a solar 12K EMP hardened. They're cranking. Is it nice back there? So we cut in a nice little home line panel, avoiding their alarm system. We didn't need much. And we're leaving some heavy circuits for a 6.5 horsepower compressor, an electric range, and a water heater. And so that will be the critical loads here. We got a bypass. We're coming back in a couple weeks to finish this up, but we're just happy to get to this point where everything is built. We know what we need, and then when we come back, we'll bring a wire. We just have to be back. We couldn't stay another day, though we wanted to, because I'm actually taking a solar class called NABCEP, North American Board Certified, what is it? E-practicer? Taking a NABCEP class. All right, here we are in another Mech Room. This is pretty cool. We got some a nice corner gutter, and we even did some recessed panels this time. It looks even cleaner. So you get to see it in its incomplete condition. Got some 950 amp hour. Yes, it's an AGM battery. Yes, we're doing lithium, but when it comes to EMP hardened systems like this is, we still have to use AGM or flooded lead acid batteries. So, but we're doing great. Got all the circuits moved over to the critical loads panel that the customer requested. And so we're good. Everything's tested there in this building. And we'll come back and pull some heavier wires. We made enough room just in case to stick another 12K in the corner if we want to double the capacity. But for now we're good. 4 critical loads panels and CTs, everything's hooked up and running right now on this rainy day in an undisclosed location. All right, if you have questions or you'd like a system, just let me know.